Hello, this is Mike with Blue Island Public Library, and today is ID card printer projects. And we're live over Zoom and Facebook, and it is Thursday, June 10th. It just turned 6 o'clock exactly, and we're going to go getting started on the project. So actually, what I'm going to do is share my screen for a moment, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, so bring up the event here. So this is the project that we have scheduled for today, ID card printer projects. I will talk about what it is. Apologies for the lack of the Zoom invitation, didn't make it on there. That must have been a mistake by myself. But that's what it is. That's what we're doing. This is basically, we have a ID card printer, and you can create ID cards, name badges, luggage tags, guitar picks, advertising materials, what have you. So basically, it is, let me stop sharing for a second. It is this thing right here. This is our lovely ID card printer. And basically, you feed it some IDs. There's a stack of them here. And you throw it in there and you send it a print job and it prints something for you. It's an example of something that it is printed for me. This was just something with my name on it and my picture and my phone number. And it was kind of just something I threw in my bag in hopes that if someone found my bag, then they would hopefully call me and maybe even return it. If I'm lucky. So let's go ahead and let me share this again, and I will do another thing to show you what I'm talking about and what we have here. So this is a Fargo DTC 1250E. Basically, the way I got this was another library was actually getting rid of this. They used this for their library cards, and they had decided at some point that they were not going to be taking pictures of people anymore. So this is what it is. This, I think, is kind of inflated. It is an expensive printer. I think I found some on eBay for like $300 or $400, a similar model. This is the single-sided version, but you can easily make it double-sided by printing and then grabbing it and feeding it back in and printing it again. Something else, or the same on both sides if you like. So that is the printer itself. Basically, there's a driver that you can get from Fargo's website, which is it's not fargo.com or anything like that. It's some other, but if you Google for it, you'll find it. It's a very simple install. I'm not going to bore you with that. The other parts are the ink, which is basically just a ribbon spooling style ink. And this is like 40 bucks and you get 250 prints out of it. These are the cards that we're using, that we have here. This is like, you get like 100 of them for 10 bucks or something. You get a stack of them. It's pretty cool. Share again and we'll look for those. Share. Just probably on here as a linked product. It's a combo. There we go. Ribbon cartridge. Yeah, so here's our ribbon cartridge, which we have plenty of here. Anybody can use, so this is probably boring. And the cards themselves is just the standard ID card size, which is CR80. And yeah, here's some cleaning cards. There's regular cards. We put this on all. Yeah, so basically you can get a big stack of cards for, I think we got them for like 10 bucks. So basically it's like maybe 10 cents for a card, and the ink is like 15 cents for each printout. So basically for like a quarter cost, you get a printout. So it doesn't really cost us anything. So if anybody wants to print something, which we'll be doing shortly, then we can do that. So moving on. Basically, what I did was I took this ID card size, which is a standard, and I dropped it right into Publisher. Publisher kind of worked out pretty good. So we're probably going to use that. ID card size. So we find out that the size of this actual card is probably printed on the box somewhere too, is 2.13 by 3.38 inches. Basically what we can do is go to Publisher and create a canvas with that size. Basically you would just say, make a new one. I'm saying 8.5 by 11 right now, but you just change it. You go to size and do a custom size setup, and basically type in the exact numbers here. I actually remember what that size was. 2.13 by 3.38. So 2.13 by 3.38. And I'm just saying 0 for all the margins. And let's say our paper size is the same. 2.13 by, oops, that's not right. 3.38, right? 3.38. Step over here. 3.38 with no margins, 1 page per sheet. Of course they would have. Anyway, it was 3.38 and 2.13 margins. Cool. So there's our canvas for our ID card, or whatever we're actually printing. And this could be anything. So that's how easy it is. Basically, I would put something here. It could be a picture or text or something. Let's just say I had hello. Right, I just wanted to print that. When you go to print, it'll show up as a printer. And in our case, we're just doing 1 page per sheet. And it would print, and we'll make something. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a couple things. As I said before, I have some examples. Here, for example, is the kind of luggage taggy sort of thing that has my picture and my phone number on it, and that's great. Also have another example here is my name badge that I wear at work. You may have seen me walking around with this. Also kind of cool because another thing I did was actually put my barcode on the back of it so I don't lose it. So that's cool. Another example I have is my COVID card, which I don't know how much I can show you, but it's kind of, you get the COVID card and it's this little piece of paper and kind of easy to get lost, and it doesn't fit in your wallet right because it's not the right size. Just cover up a lot of this. Actually, I have to cover up most of it. But so here's an example of my COVID card in the background. I don't know if you can read that. But basically, I just took a picture of it and sized it for this. And now I can keep it in my wallet and I won't lose it. So that's cool. Another example that I have here are these couple of guitar picks, which is kind of cool, I guess. Here's a couple with the Blue Island Library logo, this wonderful logo that Tommy here made a number of years back. It looks great. This is basically a function of printing to a blank card in a certain template that I had worked out and using the pick punch thing, which I don't know, you've probably seen these like online everywhere. Basically, this just snaps, punches out. It's a hole punch basically that punches out this shape. So when we're done, we kind of put that in there and punch it out, and you just have to put them in the right spots. and you'll get 5 picks out of one card. So it's like plus like 5 cents in actual materials for each one. So that's just cool. You could do loyalty cards and things like that. You could do like a nice business card that people will be less likely to throw away something that's not, if it's a piece of paper that's getting thrown in the trash immediately, but if it's something like this, they might hold on to it. And if you wanted to do, maybe you have a small business or something and you just want some nice looking name tags for your handful of employees, that's easy to make. Or maybe a million other things that they could be done with this. Yeah, maybe you have the loyalty card was another thing. Maybe, you just want to have some like kind of punch thing where it says like buy 5 things and get the 6th one free. And then you got like a couple holes in it. And then people keep that around. People keep like, VIP cards for restaurants. People hold on to that stuff and then it's always in their wallet and then it promotes, and I think it's a good idea for a small business, but it's me. So let's go back to sharing the screen and we'll try to make something. So let me start over. I'm not going to save this one. What I'm going to do is, so I saved this as a template in Publisher, and what I have here is this blank template, and this blank template is basically the same thing that we just did. It's just an empty canvas with the right size for the ID cards. So before I do that, I'm actually going to make a copy of our template and just copy and paste it right here. Now we want that says copy, and I'm going to do whatever it is we're making. So let's do, I'm not even sure what we'll do first. Let's see what I promised we would do. And then let's see, today is June 10th. Here is my event. All right, ID cards, name badges, luggage tags, guitar picks. Okay, so I guess we'll start with some kind of ID card. So again, as we said, maybe we have a small business or something and you just want to make like a nice name badge. So I have a couple pictures of myself. One of them I just took a couple minutes before, right before, I took this maybe 15 minutes ago, right before we started the class. For some reason, my teeth are kind of jacked up looking. That's okay. So let's say we have a picture of somebody. We'll just use this. Probably what I would do is just use the snip tool that comes in Windows and just kind of take a head and shoulder shot or just a bust, maybe head and shoulders. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Let's do. I don't know. Let's do something kind of shaped like that. And I got part of the zoom thing. We'll fix that later. All right. So I'm just going to save this as Mike ID. Portrait. Cool. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. And let's see, where did it go? I saved it right here. So let's go back to Publisher. And where did it go? I thought I had it open. Maybe I do not. Oh, that's right, because I couldn't decide what I wanted to name it. So let's do ID card example. Cool. Start that one up. And here's our template. I'm going to just drop in my face here and kind of have to decide how we want to do this. So that's way too big, right? So this will probably be something like, it could be off to the side with company name or something like that. Actually, I promised I was going to crop off that piece of zoom at the top, so let's get rid of that. All right, so there's me, and let's put some text to say possibly who I am or who I work for. So let's do that. I'm just going to put a text box over here, maybe the same size. And I'll put my name and I'll put my title, which might be whatever it is. Social director, Popular Club. Maybe just social director, Popular Club. That sounds cool, right? If only. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do something cool with that. We'll make the font a little bit bigger. Probably center it with that. I don't know what that'll do for. Yeah, that's fine. We can center that. We'll use a color. I don't know. Maybe we'll just make it bold or something. Popular Club. And perhaps some kind of border would be nice. Maybe a border around this, or maybe a border around the whole thing. Again, I'm kind of just winging this. I didn't really plan. That's what I did for my name tag. So apparently I did nothing on my name tag spectacular. I put a picture background with text over it and a picture on the side, kind of almost the same as what we're doing right here. It looks like I applied a color to the background. These are all very easy to do. I think we can just do, we can not see everything because we have pieces of zoom over important pieces. So I'm actually trying to move stuff around. Anyway, page design, background. Okay, so let's do a gray background or something. Maybe, look, we got these cool gradients here. Wow, and now we're cooking. Cooking with gas now. All right, so that's cool. I might put a box or something. Let's see, maybe a shape. A square, maybe. Let's see. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. So I drew a square over. Let's see. All right, fill. We don't want any fill. Border would be nice though. Okay. Oh, that might work. So I just drew a box. Nothing spectacular there. I just went insert shape, and I picked a box, and it filled it in. But I want it to be filled in, so made it transparent. So that's cool. So let's just pretend that was all we were going to do. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to say print and make sure it looks right. So cool. All right, we've got our printed selected right here, which is our DTC 1250. Print all pages, 1 pages per sheet to our C80 size ID cards. So now I'm going to basically just take our box here. Again, this is our CR80 ID cards, and I'm just going to grab one out of here, and I'm going to throw it on the printer, which works like such. Notice, actually there's one in here already, but if there wasn't one in here, put this off to the side. Maybe make it close so we can see what's going on. I don't know if you can see that. Basically, it's got an in area. You can put stacks in here, but I usually just put them in one at a time. Goes through the printer this way, and there's a little tray to kind of grab it when it comes out. So nice. Let me finally print that, which is right here. I'm gonna say print. Yeah, we should hear the printer in a second here, which I do. So magic is happening. So again, we got this ribbon style thing, so we're probably printing CMYK, so probably 4 times. And this thing is gonna pop out the side soon, I think. There it goes. Ah, look at that. Magic. So obviously a very ridiculous example, but pretend that you had want to make maybe a small business or something, you want to make some cool name badges for your staff, something like that. Basically, you just design something in Publisher in like 5 minutes and send it, or take it here and we'll print it, or send it to us, we'll print it for you, whatever. Probably add the, in our case here, I added like the little magnetic thing. It's just got a sticky, just kind of stickied on there. And then the other half is the magnetic thing that goes behind your shirt so that it's not like a pin where you rip your shirt, it just snaps on. So cool. Now, let's say, now I printed this one-sided. So you could leave it blank. You could print something else on the other side. Yeah, this could be, I don't know, depending on what this is, this could be, this could actually probably function as your sort of business card template as well, because this could be the name of your business and what you do. And then maybe the back side would actually be examples of stuff that you do. If you had like, I don't know, construction business or something, it would say ABC Construction and your phone number, and on the back it'd say, we do bathrooms, we do remodeling, we do fireplaces and mailboxes and decks and whatever. So sky's the limit. So let's go back and do some other kind of example, which I will share the screen again. All right, that's great. Sure. Okay, and what else did we say we could do? Okay, ID card, name badge, kind of the same thing. I'm just kind of going through whatever I promised we were going to do. So luggage tag, it's kind of the same thing. Honestly, I don't know if you guys can see me, but it's basically would be the same concept. So the way I made this is the same thing, except I turned it sideways. So, instead of printing landscape mode, we're just printing portrait mode. So whatever. And, this top part, I don't know if you can see this, but I just took a hole punch and I just punched through it so I could put it like on the zipper part of my backpack. No big deal. So probably going to skip that because it's kind of uninteresting. Guitar picks we could probably do. So guitar picks. All right, so guitar picks, as I said before, I kind of had to template this out, and I believe that's this one. Let me make sure it's what I think it is first. Okay, cool. So you can kind of see, yeah, I had a lot of fun with kind of artifact pieces where I had to overlay stuff, and I couldn't figure out why Publisher was doing it. And a lot of fun measuring and things, but I finally got the template right, I think. So when this gets printed on a standard size ID card, and if it's like that, and you do it perfect, and you do the little pick punch thing that we did on it, then you get 5 of them on. So if you do it optimal, you get 5. I mean, you could do less than optimal and get like 3, and it might be easier. But I spent a couple extra minutes whenever I did this originally and made a template to try to get 5. So I'm going to make a copy of this, copy, paste, and we're going to call this guitar pick example. And again, so I'm doing a very specific thing, which is guitar picks, because I think that's kind of cool, and we have lots of instruments at the library here, and people kind of take picks all the time. So it's cool that, if you're going to take a pick, then take one with our library logo on it, and then maybe you'll remember where you got it from, and maybe you'll visit the library more often. But we don't have to do just guitar picks. You could do other things, which I can't actually think of a good example right now, but this could be easily just, you take the scissors to this if you want. I mean, it's just an ID card. There's no magic here. So let's try this example. Basically, I'm going to take this and get rid of everything that is not needed. And let's see. So let's say I want to replace this with something else. Maybe I want my face on a guitar pick or something. Or maybe I want, yeah, maybe that's all I want. So, yeah, I'll think of a better idea, but in this example, it's just going to be all about my face, I guess. So I'm going to snip this in a little closer, and I'm just using the Windows Snip tool. All right, so let's save this as my close-up. Right, saved. Don't need that anymore. When we go back here, the publisher, we can just replace this file. I think. Replace picture, format picture, change picture. Change picture, perfect. From a file. And let's see what we have here. ID card. There we go. Cool. A little zoomed in, but that's okay. That's even better. That's perfect. Now, can we do? The question here is, can we replace multiple pictures at once? That is the question. Let's see if it will let us. Let me close up. I don't think one of them. All right, that's fine. We'll just do. Oops. Just do them individually. Remember which file I was just working with, which it does. So this will just take a second. Change picture from file, my close-up, and one more time. Changing the picture to this other file. Cool. Now we still got this. Get rid of all these. They just don't need to be here. Good thing about Publisher is when you don't want something, you can kind of just drag it out of view, and you're still working on your main project. I don't know if we're going to need these. I don't think that we will. Hopefully we don't. Still got this blue background, but that can just be actually. Oh yeah, I guess actually what I did here was I just made a box with that color and that shape. What's up? All right, don't say anything weird.
Patron wants to check out the video camera.
That's cool. Yeah.
As I'm checking out, I have a message saying that he's not committed to checkout. It's because there's a limited checkout. He's got 46 things checked out already.
I would check with Circ on what the limit is. It could be, yeah, it could be the number of items, or it could be like fines, or it could be.
No fines.
No fines?
Zero.
I would check with Circ first. So it could be just a limit.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, so let's do maybe just a different background. Let's see. I don't know how this is going to. It was nice before because it was a solid background and the image that we were using was solid. Let's see. Well, let's just see if I go to change this background, what it's going to look like. It doesn't really have. And it's just going to be that spot right there. I don't think that's actually going to matter because when we take this thing and we cut into it, it's probably going to be surrounded by more picture anyway. So I don't think that's going to matter. So I'm just going to leave this background as plain white or no background. Save, go to print, and let's see if it looks right. I think it does. This will be kind of weird, but yeah, that's 5 too many of me. So I'm going to hit the print button, but I'm going to hopefully turn this thing around and we can watch the magic happen together. This is our lovely printer. I need to add a card to it. Here's one right here. Put it right here. And I'm going to, can't tell it, but I'm going into Publisher. I'm hitting the print button one last time. Sorry, grabbed it. I see. So I think I think 5 times. So you have your CMYK, and then you have there's actually another layer that kind of goes in and kind of seals in everything. I guess on here they're actually calling it the cleaning roller. which I think is the one that kind of seals it in. Like as soon as this comes out, it's, you know, it's dry. I think that's what that last roller does. So anyway, so now here's a goofy looking thing with 5 of my face on it. So hopefully we can take this and make some guitar picks out of it. So I got the goofy hole punch thing. And I'm just going in here. Oh, I should have printed them the other way, huh? So I'm kind of going in here. Probably would have been better if I put it this way, but because of the way I printed it, I should have inverted them all 180 degrees. But I did not, so fix that. Yeah, so we'll fix that next. Well, we're not going to do another one of these, but the next time we do one, we'll just have to remember that. So I'm kind of just lining it up so my face is like right in there. And well, maybe that's okay. So anyway, so now I got a cool thing with something on it. It's a guitar pick. Maybe I should even did double-sided. Then I could have both sides. Did not do that. So obviously we did something goofy, but this could be some kind of cool branding thing. If you're into music, or you just want to be, I don't know. This is kind of only for guitar players and bass players and people that play with the actual plectrum. But it's like a medium thick pick. I don't know what the exact thickness of these cards are. The millimeters. Oh, somewhere it says. All right. So anyway, so that's another example. So let's go back to our share the screen again. Let's go back to our class, and what else did I say? Okay, advertising materials and more. So the next idea I had was somewhat of a kind of loyalty card, and I mocked something up earlier, which I did not print, but I was messing around with this earlier before the class. Loyalty, here we are. And yeah, so I kind of just made a template, gave it a background, and put some text on it, and put the logo on it. I just made 10 of these circles. So the idea here would be, let me print it out first, and we'll see what it actually, if it actually comes out right. This is just kind of, I was messing around earlier today, coming up with some ideas for the class. And let's see, I'm going to, you know what, we'll do print, and we'll do an example of double-sided as well for this. So here we go, I got a new piece of ID card, and you cannot see it, but I'm actually going back and hitting the print button. And the printer is working feverishly on our loyalty. Cool. All right, what do we have here? Oh, perfect. Okay. Now, there's another quirk about the thing. So first of all, looks like it came out pretty good. Cool, right? Now, it's got some, I don't know if you can tell or not, it's got some kind of dark spots and light spots around here, and that's because I was aggressively holding onto this as an example. Basically, I get giant finger marks all over it, and it doesn't get sealed in right, and it kind of messes it up. So if anybody else is trying to do this on their own, has ID cards like this with a different printer, or you're doing it at home or whatever, be delicate with these, because either you kind of got to clean them off, or they tend to end up with these spots all over, which might be kind of hard to see, but that's okay. So double-sided. So let's say, now they do make, at least this brand makes double-sided versions of the same printer. We don't have that kind. We have a single-sided version, but basically it prints out and you can print it again. So it's important to note that the way it printed out initially was the bottom. In other words, the card's going across like this, and then you have this roller that's under here. Actually, yeah, I can show you that. So here's the ink thing right here. So it's turning around, and it's printing on the bottom side of the card as it's going through. And it goes up and it goes out like that. Just goes straight. There's no magic. It just kind of goes straight across conveyor belt style. So if we want to print on the other side, we actually want to print the blank side down, and we want the top side on the front because that's actually the way it printed. So I'm putting it like this. And you'll be able to see it, but I'm just going to go back and I'm going to go into Publisher. I'm going to say File, Print again, and hopefully the magic will happen. So it's taking the same card and it's printing on the other side, hopefully, if I did it right. If I didn't do it right, it actually kind of sucks because what happens is it tries to seal on an already sealed side, and I did it once and it jammed the whole printer, and the only way I could get the thing out was to actually cut the ribbon. However, you can actually, since it's just a ribbon that's getting coiled up in there, you can actually cut all the bad pieces away, tape it back together, roll it up by hand, and put it back in there, which is actually what's in there right now. So all is not lost if that happens. Anyway, back to our card. Came out good. Very cool, right? Double-sided. I kind of just mocked up where these circles are. I didn't measure anything at all. So I don't know if they actually, I mean, they look like they match up. Probably match close enough. Again, this is just something that was created quickly. But the idea here would be, you know, you might have a thing at your business, whatever it happens to be, just some kind of loyalty thing. Like if you sell shoes or something, say buy 5 pairs of shoes and get the 6th one free. You know, nobody buys 6 pairs of shoes at a time, so maybe this kind of keeps people coming back every quarter, or like every however many months people need to change shoes out. I don't know. Or maybe it's something that people buy on a more regular basis. Whatever it is, could be just visits. And then you just need something like, you know, some kind of, basically you would hole punch every time someone made a visit or bought something, whatever. At that point, you just need a hole punch that's, you know, something unique that's not just like a regular circle, you know, like this is, you know. You just made, you know, your program was just, you know, to do like a circle punch on all these, and people would just take it home and then like punch, 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 and be like, hey, where's my thing? So you know, you just get like a star or like some kind of weird symbol that you don't find all over the place. Anyway, so that's great. And let's see what else we had planned. I will share the screen again. And let's see. Okay, advertising materials and more. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that kind of fits back with what we did with this initial thing. Maybe we'll just do one more of these. Maybe it's like a resume sort of a thing. I don't know. Let's. Times like these, I wish that someone was on the Zoom with me. We could make something, but that is life. So, actually, I wonder if, let's see. Yeah, see, we don't actually have a Zoom invite, but we are on Facebook Live, so I'm going to look. I don't know if there's a way to see. No, I don't think anybody commented. So anyway, so we'll just make something up. We'll make something new, and that'll probably be it for the class. So let's close this out and make something else. Let's see. So first I will just make a copy of our template, copy, paste, and I'll call this, let's see, I don't know, business card or, yeah, I don't know, let's say business card. All right, so let's open this guy up. We should have our dimensions correct already, which they are. And let's see what we can find. Let's see, maybe we'll do something for the library, blueonlibrary.org. And I believe there is a picture of the library. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so let's see. I'll take a snip of this. And let's see, I'm gonna say that's probably about the size of the card. don't know if that's right or not, but let's try it. So I'm going to save this little snippet here. I call this library front.jpg, and let's roll with that. Don't need that, don't need that. Let's go back into here and drag that guy in. We'll see what happens. All right, so the first thing I'm thinking is we'll make this the entire size of the template, which either I need to warp it a little bit or I need to crop it. I don't know, probably just crop that part off to right there. And was the bottom good? I don't remember. If it wasn't, let's just say it's right there. Okay, so that'll be like probably the background for our card. I kind of like how this is here. Lime Public Library. How are we gonna do that? Yeah, I don't know. That could be, and I did not plan this at all. I'm thinking maybe this could be over here. Could be something like an overlay with, this will probably be all transparent background, or maybe this will be fine. Yeah, this will probably be fine. And then we'll do some kind of overlay text box with the business name, in our case, Lime Public Library, and like the address and the phone number and stuff, maybe the hours. And then we'll put something on the back that'll be cool. Maybe something about events we have going on this month, or other things about maybe stats about how many computers we have, or how many, I don't know, whatever our next biggest event is. We'll figure that out when we get to it. So let's start with here, file, save, and let's see if we can get some kind of a text box over this. So I'm going to say we're going to put a bunch of text like right here. And let's see, how do I make this transparent again? That's the question. Actually, I'll tell you what, let's first do Lime Public Library, blah, blah, blah. I think what we need to do first is, I think I can insert a shape again and give it no border and make it semi-transparent. I think this will work. Again, if you've watched any of my videos before, I do not claim to be useful in graphic design at all. So let's see if I can do, I'm just right-clicking this and format shape. All right, so it's got a color to it, but I think just white would probably do it. And the fill could be, is it no fill or is it transparency? Let's see here, let's make this 50% transparent first. Okay, perfect. All right, so this is just kind of like, it's much easier to read black text. Of course, I have to move stuff front to back, but it's much easier to read black text over something that's lighter to begin with. So that's kind of the reasoning for this right now. Now, I need to get rid of that border, which is, border, where are you? Dash type. This could be, this might work. The line, okay, the line is probably the outline. So I think this can be, I could either just make this white, or I could make this 0 probably. We should apply it to all of them. Oh, that might do it. Perfect, okay. And then I need to, one of these not familiar with what's going on here with publisher. It's basically just sort of a hierarchy of what's where. And basically, since I did the library picture first, then I did this text box, then I did this. Like I said, this should be, this box should be on top of everything, which it shouldn't. So I think I just need to do send backward one time. Oops, undo that. This needs to be brought forward, is what needs to happen. Now, if I put this on here, we'll still be able to see it. Or will we? All right, let's send this to the back. So that backward. Okay, there we go. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just messing around with moving different boxes forward. The important part is we want the picture all the way in the back and we want the text all the way in the front. Very simple. So Blue Island Public Library, and let's see, let's give it some cool text. Maybe some very large size, and let's see, maybe fold this stuff and maybe center it, and maybe a different color would even be good. I mean, usually I think most graphic designers would probably say you want to pick another color, like you probably pick this brick color or this color here. I don't know if Publisher can do that easily. Let's see, I actually want font, color, scheme colors. I don't think that's, don't know if there's a color picker in this version of Publisher, or if there even is one in Publisher. So we're actually gonna go with, let's try like a brown color, and if it doesn't work, then, wow, that's hideous. Okay, well, that's all right. I'm gonna make this a little bit more transparent, I think. Maybe even mess around with the size. Maybe less transparent. See, I started off with a good idea and then that happened. So gonna try to turn down the transparency. It's even worse. Is that possible? Let's say 75. Okay, might actually work. Now you can't really read the text as well. Ugh. Gosh. All right, how are we gonna fix this? All right, maybe it just needs to be, a giant box over the whole thing, and we'll take away all transparency. It'll just be a giant box. And we could do something like that. And I kind of liked how the picture was going back there at least a little bit. Ugh. Yeah, that is ugly. So at least the good thing about this is that, at least for people like me, you understand why people go to school for graphic design and web design and things like that. All right, let's see if we can pop some text in here. Maybe things will look better somehow. Street. All right. So a couple of things here. So I just selected all the text. I don't like how much space is in there, so I'm just going to go to the paragraph, and I think it's one of these. And probably do 0. That might be enough. Okay. Illinois, and I think I actually had one more piece of text in there. Ugh. Okay. Is it the color of the text that's just awful? I don't know. Let's see if we can pick a different color. Let's just do black. All right. There's black, and God, this box is just horrible. Not the text box. Text box is whatever it is. This box is awful. %40. Oof. All right, let's just say it's that. I don't know. Maybe if we put a border or something around this, it'll look normal. Let's do a black, very thin border. And maybe match up the sizes. Actually, what we could do, yeah, we could do something like that. Make them the same. That might actually give a little contrast. I don't know. I mean, it's sort of looking like that's what we were intending to do, but not really. That's okay. Again, this is, can we do decimals? 14 and a half. Cool. All right. Again, this is just on a card. This is classes on the card printer. It's not a publisher. So I'm going to say that's what it is. That's awful. That's all right. So maybe it's I think it's the paragraph spacing that we had a problem with. If we turn this off, put 0. Okay, all right, how about 1? 33. Why not? No, it feels like there's way more space here than there is here. Maybe I did not. Yeah, I think that might be part of the problem. Then we can do maybe a tiny bit into paragraph 0.5 maybe. Yeah, looks a little better. But, is there a text up button? Increase font. Okay. All right, cool. Let's just say that that's the front. Moving on, let's print this guy. Got 9 minutes left in the class. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm going to say that's our cool front of our business card. So I'm going to, once again, grab a new one. Try not to scuff it up too much this time. Drop this guy in the printer. And where the heck are we? Let's see, hit print. Let's see what happens. Work your magic. Is it gonna throw it away on me? I'm gonna grab it right when it comes out. Okay, so that's kind of okay. I think it came out cool. It doesn't. It could look a lot worse. It could look a lot better, but it actually could look a lot worse. So this is our sort of business card example, and now the back would be then something else. And I haven't really thought too much about that. That would be something else. That would be, geez, I don't know. It'd be nice if this was like maybe the calendar or something. Yeah, so if you had, I don't know, maybe your organization has an events calendar. Of course, ours you can't actually see like the events directly on a calendar. That's just because of the way our calendar is made. So that's not a good example. But another example might be maybe something from the newsletter. Let's see, current newsletter. Let's see. I'm sure we have a highlighted event that we could put on the back, and that might be kind of cool. If I can get it to load. All right, cool. So yeah, you can see we have this wonderful newsletter Front would be good. Let's see, announcements, that might be cool. Adult events, which we won't be able to get all of them. I'll just take a snippet of either, yeah, we could probably put just this announcements section on the back. Or if we wanted to highlight certain events, and we could take a snippet of that. So let's do this announcements thing. It's probably actually perfect. No, look at that. It's probably the right size and everything. All right. I'm just gonna rip this right out of the newsletter and grab this guy right here. That looks perfect. I'm gonna save that as, let's see, this was business back, business card back, I think. That's the nomenclature that we were using. Let's put back into here, and let's see. All right, let's save this. Let's do another one. Let's see, business card. All right, actually, I just copy and pasted this. Business card. Let's call this business card back. The other one would be front, but we don't have to rename it. It's fine. All right, now I can just delete all this stuff because we don't need any of it. And I think I can drop that picture right in there. And it will come out perfect. I just dragged that right in there. I dropped it in. And I think I can just drag this to the corner. Look at that. It's almost like it was meant to be. Technically, a little bit gets cut off, but I think if that was resized, you wouldn't even notice. So cool. So let's save that. Get ready to print. And back to our lovely printer. I have our card that we just used. This is the front. The back has nothing on it at all. And let's see, so we're going to print this way. So I'm going to put this like this, and the top will be the top, the bottom will be the bottom, and we'll print on the correct side. I hope. Going back on the publisher, I'm hitting the print button. And let's see what happens. Again, all this stuff is, the printer's kind of expensive. You can probably buy other brands of printers. We happen to have one already at the library. And the materials are very inexpensive. I think we worked out this is like, cards are like 10 cents for a card, and this is like 20 cents for a print, so like 25, 30 cents you're talking to print something out. So see what happened. Oh yeah, I didn't realize how small that was going to be. Okay, so the front was that, and the back is this, which looks cool. And then I did not realize that the text is so small. So I mean, you could still read it. I mean, I can read it, but let's just say anybody that's close to my age, your parents will not be able to read it. And any young people, your grandparents will definitely not be able to read this. But the concept is there, right? So this could be a, instead of, several hundred words, this could be a paragraph of text or something like that. This could be something that you leave with somebody. This is like a fancy business card. This would be maybe a picture of your business, your name, or a picture of you or something, or a picture of your product. Backside would be, you could even do, landscape mode this way on the back. Maybe it's portrait mode, or you could do the landscape mode, whatever you want. But this could be a description of maybe about your business, how you got started, what you specialize in, something like that. Again, there's a piece of paper, people will be throwing that away like as soon as you hand it to them. Hopefully they do it behind your back, but sometimes they don't. It's terrible, but people will be less likely to throw a hard piece of plastic out. Kind of has, maybe they'll wait until they get home before they do it. I don't know. So anyway, so that's it, 6:58 p.m. That was our power hour of ID card printing ideas. Again, as a wrap up, I showed you the sort of luggage tag sort of thing. I showed you the COVID card, more permanent version of the COVID card. Showed you the super cool ID card, name badge, whatever you want. I think that one's the funniest, and that one took the least amount of time. Showed you I was going to make one of these. I actually made this earlier, but it did not take me very long at all. It was just kind of like stick this on there, put text on there, and make a circle and copy it over 10 times. So this is our loyalty card idea. Obviously, check out 10 books and get the 10th one, borrow the 10th one free for library, you know. Showed you the custom guitar picks idea, which is just kind of cool. Another novelty thing, I guess. Should have rotated all these guys 180 degrees, but I did not. I forgot to. And then we have our other business card sort of a thing, what have you. So that's it. So anybody wants to just make something, just send it to us and we can print it out for you. If you want to come to the library, again, I just use Publisher and I think it's fast. I think it's easy. Otherwise, you can use whatever you want. You can actually print, you just printed like a regular picture. Should have had some of those examples. But yeah, if you just had a picture and you can just open it up in the Windows Photo Viewer and print it, and it'll just print like a giant picture, and it could be another picture on the other side. It's sort of a keepsake thing. It's almost like those those wake cards that you get. That might be another idea. So anyway, yeah, pictures or projects, all as well. 7 p.m. on June 10th, 2021. This is Mike with the Blue Line Public Library, and that's it. So see you next time.